Hey there, and welcome. Have you ever found yourself trying to talk about future plans, but it all comes out, well, a little messy? You know that whole, maybe if this thing happens, then we could kinda thing? Well, today we are going to master a super simple but really powerful tool that's going to make talking about the future feel clear, confident, and just easy. So, let's dive in.
So let's start with a basic question. How do we actually talk about the future, especially when one thing depends on another? You know, that classic cause and effect situation. The funny thing is, you already do this all the time without even thinking about the grammar behind it.
Chances are your brain naturally thinks in a pattern that looks a lot like this. It's like a domino effect, right? If this first domino falls, then that next one is going to fall right after it. This super simple, intuitive logic, it's the foundation for everything we're about to cover.
And guess what? That simple if-then idea for the future actually has an official name in English grammar. It's called the first conditional. I know, it sounds a little technical, maybe a bit scary, but as you just saw, you already get the core concept. You've been using it your whole life.
Now, here is the most important thing to remember. The first conditional isn't for dreaming about winning the lottery or flying to the moon. It's used for real, possible situations, things that could actually happen. And that's what makes it so incredibly useful for everything from making weekend plans to talking about big life decisions.
So, how does it actually work? Well, it breaks down into two super clean parts. First, you've got the condition. This is your if part of the sentence. And second, you have the result. This is the part that tells you what's going to happen if that condition comes true. Condition, then result. That's it. Simple.
And here it is, the blueprint, the recipe you can use every single time. And pay attention to the tenses here, because this is the key. The if part, the condition, uses the present simple tense. And the result part uses will plus the basic form of the verb. Like, if it rains, we will cancel. See? Present simple, then will.
But wait, there's more. This structure is also totally flexible. You can flip it around and put the result first. The meaning stays exactly the same. But here's the crucial detail, and this is a super common mistake, so listen up. When the if is in the middle of the sentence, you get to drop the comma. No comma needed, it just flows. All right, enough with the theory. We've got the blueprint down. Now let's see how this thing actually shows up in real everyday conversations. This is the fun part.
Okay, so the number one place you're going to hear and use the first conditional is when you're talking about future plans and all those things that could very well happen. This is literally the language of planning ahead.
Here's a perfect classic example. The condition is, if it rains tomorrow, that's a real possibility, right? And the result? We will cancel the picnic. It's a clear, logical plan that depends entirely on that future weather. See how those two parts just click together perfectly?
And here's that flipped structure in action. The main result, she will be late, comes right at the beginning. And why? Because of the possible condition if the train is delayed. And notice, no comma, because if is right there in the middle, connecting the two ideas smoothly. Sounds totally natural, doesn't it?
Now, the first conditional isn't just for neutral stuff like planning picnics. It can carry a lot more weight. We use it all the time to give some pretty serious warnings, or on the flip side, to make really sincere promises.
Here's a warning you've probably heard or said a million times. The condition is, if you don't hurry, and the result is a direct and very likely consequence, you will miss the bus. It's clear, it's direct, and it definitely gets the point across.
And it works just as well for positive things too. Now, this isn't a 100% ironclad guarantee, but it is a genuine promise that depends on a future condition. The condition is, if I have time, and the promised result is, I will help you. It's honest and clear.
Okay, you have got the foundation completely locked down now. So let's look at a few ways you can add a little more nuance, a little more sophistication to your English. This is where we go from just getting it right to making it sound great. Okay, this part is really cool. You don't always have to use will. You can actually swap in other words to change the entire feel of the sentence. For example, use can to give permission, pop in might to suggest something's possible, but maybe less certain. And should is absolutely perfect for giving advice. It's the same structure, just with a different flavor.
All right, let's take a second to clear up something that trips a lot of people up. The difference between the first conditional and something called the zero conditional. They look almost identical, but trust me, they mean totally different things. Let's break it down right now so you never get them mixed up again.
So here's the difference in a nutshell. The zero conditional is for general facts, things that are always true.
It's like a rule from a science book. If you heat any water, it always boils. But the first conditional is about a specific prediction for the future. If you heat this particular pot of water right here, it will boil. See that? A general, universal rule versus one specific future outcome.
Wow, we have covered a ton of ground pretty quickly. So before we wrap up, let's boil it all down to the absolute essentials, the key things you need to walk away with today.
So, what are the top 3 things to remember? Number 1, use this for real, possible situations in the future. Number 2, lock in that formula. If plus the present simple, then will plus the basic verb. And number 3, don't forget you can get creative and swap will for words like can, might, or should to add different shades of meaning.
And I'll leave you with this final thought, using the very structure we've just mastered. Just think about it for a second. If you start using the first conditional in your conversations tomorrow, what will you achieve? I bet you'll find more clarity, a lot more confidence, and just way more effective communication. Give it a try.